We're not going to announce the winner immediately. That will come soon enough. Let me just say a few things. First of all, I've been involved in this about 10 years, and I've had plenty of practice at seeing teams present on their first occasion, and generally, I have to tell you, with the due respect to some of my talented people to my own right, that it's often slightly embarrassing, but it only usually gets better. So that we all are all in agreement that what you've done today is just fantastic. And that's, I guess you expect me to say nice things. I genuinely say that because I've seen it. I've been over many, many years in training different teams, that to bring people together who don't know each other, who had no practice in case competitions, and to do what you've done today is just astonishing. So you really should be proud of yourselves. I was really impressed, and so are all of the judges. We thought you presented especially well. I was impressed by the way in which things flowed quite neatly from one person to the next. We thought you handled questions exceptionally well, and in the time available, the presentations, the recommendations were very impressive. What we're going to do, though, before I announce the winner, I'm going to ask some of the other judges if they want to make some comments about what happened today. We are not going to comment on individual teams, but just make some general observations. Simon, do you want to start?
Oh, thanks, Greg. And I have to apologise in advance because I need to be at another seminar in a few minutes, so I'll be brief, but hopefully comprehensive. And I'll follow through our marking sheet, I suppose, as a good way of providing feedback. These are under the headings of analysis, recommendations, Q&A, and presentation. In terms of analysis, I think there was a lot of variation. There were some presentations that were very general, strategic overview, umbrella type stuff, right down to some other analysis of potential strategies that were very micro. Do this, get this kind of endorser, this amount of TV time, and this is the slogan for the product. So there's quite a range of recommendations, I suppose, and levels of analysis in that. I suppose in future, always look at this because you're effectively strategy consultants. Always think from the macro to the micro. Don't jump too quickly to the micro, but also don't just fluff around in the macro. Take it through on a logical path from the very general and broad-based analysis into the more specific recommendations. I think is probably a route that I take. And on recommendations, I thought some of them were very good, well thought out, considered. And there are others not as well thought out. But I suppose what I'd be looking for is internal consistency. So that, one prong of your recommendation makes sense given another prong. If you find that there's inconsistency between the two, sometimes that came up in some of the presentations, then I think you could be open, if you like, to criticism from judges in panels down the track. So that would be an overarching recommendation for your recommendations that you make. I like the idea that some of you used a sensitivity style analysis, scenario kind of analysis, because after all, we're working in businesses and strategies. Strategy making is it's never an exact science, and so if you can find a range of alternatives, if you like, it's powerful. And remember also, it frames your recommendation, the scenarios, which is a great way when you're trying to sell, if you like, your idea. Q&A, generally very good across all groups. The one thing I saw that was potentially a mistake is where, like, scared rabbits staring into the headlights, you keep talking to try to pull back an answer or find an answer, hoping that the more you talk, the more likely it is you'll stumble upon something that, it's good to say. If you haven't got the answer, some groups were very good in the way they looked to each other and knew whose area of expertise, or each other's area of expertise, and were able to say, this is one for Sue or this is for Bob, and away Bob went. And usually that's enough. Maybe one kind of additional observation, but usually one, maybe two is enough. If everyone's pitching in saying, and another thing, because something else popped into my mind, you start to show desperation to a panel, to a board of directors. And presentation, overall very good, slides were great, to most of you was very good. I suppose the one thing I would say is that there was, and look, this is a bit unfair, so take this in the manner in which it's intended. You consultants, and we're a board, so it's likely that Greg will have an Order of Australia medal and be 66. You know, I'll be a sort of you know, sorry, he doesn't look 66, he looks great for his age. But, you know,
have to go there.
You know, others will be sort of eminent business people who are sitting on boards of multiple companies. And if you come in saying things like, yeah, gotcha, hey guys, we're not guys, you know, and you know, if a question's asked that you like, cool, sure, I'll take that. Don't take this as a real criticism, but it's, watch the language. You work for McKinsey or Bain. We are a board of directors. You know, we're a board of directors for a number of reputable businesses. Let's keep it professional. Okay.
Thanks, so.
Well done, guys. I've got it down. Congratulations.
Simon was fairly
He was indeed. Yeah.
Can I just address the idea of answering questions and the questions that we asked? And just to point out that I think each group might have left the room thinking that we asked a tough question or were a bit unfair. And to be honest, the objective, our objective, was to put you through the paces there. And that as you answered one question, to toss another slightly more difficult question at you until hopefully we hit something where you gave a silly answer, a stupid answer. I mean, that's our objective. And that's an important lesson for you guys to learn in terms of being able to handle these questions on your feet. And to learn, I guess, these are skills that you'll learn yourselves. And the only way that you'll learn these skills is by repetitions, by exercising those muscles, if you like. And the way to exercise those muscles is to participate in these types of challenges again and again. So, I know there are a number of reps from student organisations here. I strongly encourage you all to get involved in these types of things again. For those finance students here, the FMAA and FMAA definitely, UBS, JP Morgan, Investment Bank Challenge, those types of challenges are indispensable. And I'm sure there are others for the other disciplines as well. So I congratulate you for participating, but now just get out there and exercise those muscles again.
Just to wrap it up then, obviously we hope you found it rewarding. It's all very well telling you what it's going to be like, and you would have had your own anticipation about what you thought you were going to go through, but it's another thing to actually experience it. Likewise, talk about the kind of pressure that you're going to face, which we were talking about last night. Well, you can hear that from me, but it's not until you have it today and you've got the case, you've got to read in a hurry, and you've got to decide on what our recommendations are going to be and think how you're going to support them, that you truly appreciate what pressure is all about. I hope you've enjoyed working in a team and learning how to do that. We talk about that a lot in this faculty. We know just how important it is to employers. Employers tell us all the time they want people who can work effectively in teams. This will be a good thing to put on the resume, there's absolutely no doubt about that, to say that this is evidence of working under pressure, working in a situation in which you are dealing with people who have a variety of skills. You have to bring those skills together to form something that's cohesive, and to be able to exercise those presentation skills as well. Make sure you mention this in any application put forward. It's a fantastic thing to be able to say that you've done. So congratulations.